Well, hello again. As you can see, all the snow has disappeared once more. Overnight it was gone. I like that kind of stuff. Ground's still a little soft from the water though. Today we're going to go back into the garage, and it's going to be a short video, not a whole lot involved. We're getting to the point on the car where we don't have a whole lot left to do. Believe it or not, we're going to remove a little rust from the inside of the firewall today. And then I'm going to wipe it all down with alcohol when I'm done. After it dries overnight completely, tomorrow we'll come out and we'll put some rust encapsulator on that, and I'll show you what that is in a minute. But the first thing I've got to do is I got to spread this tarp out all over the inside of the car. I cleaned it all up, wiped it all down with alcohol and rags, got it all squared away. And all of the rust encapsulator made by Eastwood, which is a very expensive thing, by the way. Let me go ahead and turn the light on here, see if that helps. Yeah, that helps a lot. Okay, you look over there on the inside of the dash, there's not a whole lot of rust there. We're going to remove the remainder of the insulator pad, and I'm going to spread this thing out on the floor, up underneath the dash as much as I can, so I don't get we're going to get a lot of particulates and crap and everything from what's left over on that pad. You can see part of it there. It kind of stretches up there and goes down below. I ordered one. It's supposed to be in a couple days. That'd be kind of nice to get that thing back up in there. But first, we got to get the rust off and the pad removed. Now, the rust encapsulator by Eastwood is pretty good stuff. You know, the problem is, like I said, it's very expensive. And it's nothing but a sealer. You know, it's a really heavy duty, I don't know what it's made of, but it keeps air from getting to the rust, and it keeps it from spreading. That's essentially all it is. It's like a heavy duty, super duper paint of some kind. I don't know what it is, but it's thick and it's black and it does a pretty good job. I would have ordered a quart, but it's so expensive I went ahead and just ordered a pint. Hopefully I can stretch that to the end. So, what do we have left? After we get this thing derusted and everything, I'm going to kind of give you a wrap up here. Other than the door panels. The door panels suck. I'm going to have to take one of those off, each one of them. We got to loosen up the window crank stuff and all that. But, that's minor stuff. So I'm talking about actual rust and all that. We don't hardly have any. I'll probably have to take off that last hood hinge and get that looking real good and get it painted. And I've got to pressure check the evaporator that we took out from underneath the dash, and I want to pressure check the condenser, which is down in front of the radiator. And I can't think of, oh yeah, we got to work on the overhead, which I have been doing. Probably got to put that overhead on. We got to get that all squared away. It's a big 2 pieces of giant cardboard, pressed board of some kind. I've been working on that, on and off, so we're not too far away on that. But that's about it. Once we get those things done, unless something else pops up, we're going to start throwing pieces and parts back into this car. And it's going to start taking shape. I can't wait. Well, we've made some progress. All of the padding along the top here has been removed. I don't know if that's separate padding that I have to buy or not. That's kind of a strange deal. But it was all jammed up underneath the wiring here and everything, so I had to push it back. Here's some of it still. You see where it's jammed up under here. I'll have to shove that back. Get that crap out of there. Anyway, and there's some more over here. Crazy stuff, I'll tell you. I'll have to probably pull this down and clean it all up and everything. But this other piece that ripped loose, you can see where it ripped loose around there. I'm going to have to get that off over to this point right here. Over there to this collar around the steering column. It's going to be fun and games, huh? Alright, that fun is over. By the way, my son gave me a LED light. He gave me 2 drop lights. I told him I needed a drop light. Buy me one for Christmas. He wanted to know what I wanted, and I told him. In addition to the power washer, he bought me one that recharges, this one right here, and one that works off electricity, has a wire. I'll tell you, this sucker will blind you if you look into it. I'm serious. Well, let me see here. Oh my goodness, look at there. We have some mud wasp nests under there. Fancy that. Holy mackerel. Okay, now I'm going to have to hit the other side tomorrow, I guess. These things right here, that hold that mat in, boy, they are monsters to get out. I had to take a vice grip to get it out. I'm going to use plastic ones to put it back in. And there's another one down here behind that emergency brake cable down there. Right there. I got to move the emergency brake cable to get it out so I can get the rest of the pad out. I'll do that tomorrow. Today, there's no rust. I don't see any rust over here at all, which really makes me feel good. The only rust we have is down here. Oh, let me move this whole body of mine. There's the rust along here. And that's what we came out here today to do, was to just get to where we can get the rust off. And I don't think we're going to have to do it to the other side. And then I'm going to have to do a little vacuuming. Now I'm only going to go ahead and use one of these small wire brushes to knock it off, because that rust encapsulator will take care of the rest. And this is just surface stuff. That's all it takes. Just got to work your little heart out, you know, and try to get as much off as you can. Don't, you know, just get with the program until you run out of breath or energy or age. Alright, everything's been de-rusted. I took a electric drill with a wire brush to the heavier spots. All the surface rust has been removed. It doesn't look it in the camera, but it is. I wire brushed it down to nothing. So what we're going to do now, I'm going to pour some alcohol in this rag and then soak it up pretty good. I'm going to wipe down the entire firewall. Then we're going to call it quits for the day, because I am tired. Not so much from the work, but God, it's crawling up underneath this tiny spot. It's hard on the old bones, you know what I mean? Well, let's get this thing wiped down. Alright, she's all clean. As you can see, the rag was just filthy when I got it wiped all down. And now we can go ahead and put our rust encapsulator on it, which I will do tomorrow. When I come out, I'm going to go ahead and paint this entire thing up in there over to the gas pedal linkage. That gas pedal rod right there. I think that's what that is. And I'm going to try to rip loose some more of that over there, but it's going to be a little more difficult than this side was. Well, we're back in the old Thunderbird again, and all I have to do is remove the insulation from here across to the other side of the car, the driver's side. Get all that crap up under there, all that stuff's got to go. But first I got to take off this, let me see, I don't know if you can see it or not, it's kind of hard to work under here. God, it's going to be terrible. See that square thing around the base of the steering wheel? It's got 5 large bolts that have to come out. And then I'm just going to be ripping and tearing after that. Well, this is turning out to be a nightmare. These 2 bottom bolts don't want to come out. They just come out so far, and that's it. Look at all that thing's doing is wiggling. I cannot get that out. And the one up the top up there, same thing with it. So, well, I've got everything out with the exception of what's around this middle, this square metal thing that goes around the steering column. And I don't want to take that steering column out to get it off. I really don't. This is what it's made out of. Look at that. Nasty stuff, huh? Oh well, let me clean up here. I'm all covered with it. Nasty. Well, my old light's beginning to peter out, but that looks a whole lot better now. Everything's nice and clean, except for getting this thing out. I gotta get it out. It's just hanging around there now. Let's find out what comes in the installation kit to replace that, if anything. The answer is in this box. It came in a little while ago from UPS. And it is from Bird Nest, and I ordered one of these gaskets right here. Remember the one for the firewall the air conditioning lines came through? I got one of those, and this is the pad. It's awfully small. I expected it to be different. And then there's supposed to be something else come with it. Maybe it's in the middle. Let me open it up all the way. Well, there it is, all stretched out. This is perfect. Got nice rubber on the other side. Real rubber, by the way. It goes all the way across. And this is the one, I think, that goes around the steering column. at the bottom, you know, where that metal piece is, just giving me nothing but heartburn, all the way over to here. This is pretty nice. I think this is where the steering wheel goes through, and this thing pretty much sits on there like that from the other side. Anyway, they also gave me these, which is something I was very concerned about, where I was going to get them. I was going to get some plastic ones, but I don't have to do that anymore. There they are right there. This was a good buy. A very good buy. It was only $100, and I think 109 or something like that. Worth every penny to me, I'll tell you. I don't know what these are for. Something. Better be careful. I'll wind up taking it out, I suppose. It's for something. I don't know what. But anyway, that takes care of that. I'm going to put it back in the box, and then I'm going to paint over to the steering wheel area with the rust encapsulator. So let's get that done. Okay, as soon as I get this done, it'll be the end of the video. I'm not going to paint the entire thing. I'm just going to paint the rusted areas. The reason being is this stuff is very expensive, like I said, and I'm going to need it for underneath the back deck of the window. Let me see if I can even show it to you. Yeah, you see that over there where that blue thing is up there in the top? That hasn't been de-rusted and cleaned yet, so I'm going to kind of hope it'll stretch. If not, well, I'll have to get another one, but I hate to do it. If you ever use this stuff, use a mask. Pretty potent stuff. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the can, dip it in like a regular paintbrush, and put it on until I'm satisfied, all the way over there as far as I need to go. I don't think I need to go very far. There's just not that much rust. Plenty of rust on the other side, though. Oh. It goes on pretty easy. It's fairly thin. This one is anyway. The last one wasn't very thin, but this is a different flavor than what I got last time. Just use a little throwaway brush. Let it dry for 2 days, okay? That's all we're going to do. Difficult to see what I'm doing here with a mask on. Kind of interferes with my glasses a little bit. Alright, you get the idea. Just slap it on there. Don't spare any horses, but at the same time, don't waste it unless you got plenty of money. Alright, let me finish it up. Okay, that's it. We'll let her dry, and I'll be putting up another radio video here shortly. That piece, by the way, that was wrapped up in the insulation pad, I believe it fits right there, right where the heater fan goes. That's what it's for. It looks almost the same shape, so I was wrong about it going over there. Apparently, I'm going to have to get that off one way or the other. Oh, I don't want to do that. Now, the way my devious little mind works, to keep from having to take that steering column out, let me back up here a little bit. I could cut that metal piece up here in the corner somewhere, take it off, remove the rest of the pad that's there, put the new pad on, and you know, put it back there, and nobody would be the wiser. It's one way of doing it, you know. I'll have to discuss this with old Nick Pepe out there in Colorado. I'm sure he'll tell me to just replace the entire steering column, the pad, the car. He thinks like a restorer. I think like a penny pincher, okay? Until next time, this is John.